Swan.
Being in demand in the real estate sector, that is really what most people are going to aim for. Being in demand, having your services in demand, earning money and having a successful career is what appeals to most people when they consider working in the sector. So being in demand is like many other things, other vocations and careers, be it politics or sport or business. And it's fair to say that at the core of all of that, the success we're talking about is knowledge, specific knowledge in your vocation or your field of expertise, and that is no different in real estate. And I would always consider that the Certificate 4 qualification in real estate, or in stock and station, or in strata, in other words, the Cert 4, as it's often called, that is your baseline qualification. If you get your Cert 4, you're in the industry. Obviously, a Cert 4 in the world of real estate agency will entitle you to apply for a Class 2 license. Don't forget, obviously, that in order to apply for a Class 2 license, you need to have kept a logbook, and you need to have kept or worked a minimum amount of time in the industry as an assistant agent in your particular area of expertise. In other words, if you're aiming for a Class 2 real estate agent license, you need to have been an assistant agent real estate for at least 12 months, kept a logbook, and also finished your qualification. So just in general terms then, Cert 4 baseline qualification will allow you to work in an autonomous fashion, in other words, not supervised. It won't allow you to be the boss necessarily, or work as a contractor, but it'll certainly make you very autonomous and capable of doing all the functions of either the agent or the stock and station agent or the strata manager. But what I'm about to discuss with you is not just baseline qualification. What the point of this discussion is in a competitive world that we live in, having a baseline qualification isn't necessarily going to keep you ahead of the curve. It's not going to future-proof you. What you need to be looking for in real estate is add-ons or extensions or cross-training or something along those lines that's going to give you a little bit of an edge. And the ones I want to talk about today would be auctioneering accreditation, and I'll talk about that more in a second, or cross-training as a strata manager, or cross-training as a stock and station agent. Even if it's not your intention to work as a stock and station agent or work as a strata manager. A lot of people have the misconception that I'm only doing the course because I need to work in that area. Now, obviously that's important, but if you're trying to make sure that you remain relevant and you're at the forefront of your career and you're getting the opportunities coming to you that you deserve, you need to make sure that you're skilling yourself all the time, and just working on those three, right? Upskilling yourself into stock and station, or upskilling yourself into strata managing if you were an agent, or the other way around. If you're a strata manager, you might want to have a look at real estate agency as an upskill or a cross skill, and so on. Now, auctioneering is perhaps one of the most attractive upskilling opportunities for real estate agents because it blends so nicely into the world of agency. Keep in mind that that there are many people who undergo auctioneering accreditation, and not all of them do it because they want to become an auctioneer. So please remember that. It's not because you want to stand there on a Saturday with a gavel in your hand and going once, going twice, and sold. That's not necessarily why people do auctioneering accreditation. They also do it for a deeper knowledge of how auctions work, so that they can help their clients as sellers, or increasingly help their clients as buyers, who then attend auctions on behalf of their clients. And there's another group of people who also do auctioneering accreditation, not because they want to call an auction, not because they want to act as a buyer's agent, but they do it for what I would call marketing reasons. Because if I'm going up against you know, Michael, for the agent next to me or down the road from me, and he's an agent, but I'm an auctioneer and an agent, I'm going to probably appear and will be better qualified than Michael, my competitor, and there's a good chance that I'm going to then win that listing as opposed to him winning it. So I'm adding to my ability to list well and be able to convince sellers of my capability, because not only am I an agent of X years experience with X properties sold, I'm also an auctioneer, and I have no intention of ever wielding the gavel and no intention of even using my skill for a buyer. I'm purely using it so that I can say to my prospective vendors that I am your best bet for a good result. So auctioneer accreditation, powerful upskill or powerful add-on. The other two that I mentioned before, cross-skilling as a stock and station agent or strata manager, that will very much depend on where you're working and what your aspirations are. I mean, if you're working in an outlying area of Sydney, let's say, and the acreages is starting to be more prevalent, and there's a likelihood that you might have an opportunity to list and sell a piece of land that is more than 20 hectares, then you are going to need a stock and station agent's license. Or you might have an interest in livestock sales. Again, and even if those two weren't on your radar, just having an additional qualification that you can then point to is again a very powerful message to send to your prospective purchasers and or vendors. And the same applies to strata managing. Strata managing, although that qualification does sit in a very unique position, strata managing is a very highly skilled area, and cross training into and out of strata managing is not necessarily on everyone's radar. But if you're in property management, in particular in property management, you would be very wise to think about perhaps upskilling or cross training into strata managing, and vice versa, because the strata managers, the best strata managers that I know, have a very good understanding of property management, and the best property managers I know have a very solid understanding of what a strata manager does. So my friends, in conclusion, I would encourage you to maintain and improve your knowledge base all the time, because that is one way you can guarantee that you're going to stay relevant and stay ahead of the curve. So my very best wishes to all of you in the world of agency, and as usual, happy hunting.